Welcome to the Nutrigenomic Nation podcast with Brian Highfield, certified nutritionist, author, speaker, and founder of multiple successful companies in the health world. Brian is known for educating healthcare professionals and others on improving their health and their life through breakthroughs in nutrition, technology, and biochemistry. On the podcast, Brian interviews thought leaders in the world of nutrition and natural health. He and his guests share the secrets of a whole life natural approach to health and the life-altering results you can get by making easy changes to your diet and daily routine.
Well, welcome to another episode of Nutrigenomic Nation, where we talk about things related to your genetic health. So today we have Cortney Goodstadt. Courtney has a doctorate in physical therapy, and she is also a certified integrative nutrition health coach. And we're going to be talking about some general health and wellness tips today. So welcome to the program, Courtney.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, sure. And we want our audience to get to know you a little bit. So if you could tell us a little bit about your background and what made you want to get into healthcare in the first place.
Yeah, well, I've been a physical therapist for now a little bit over 20 years. And so I've always been in the health industry, helping people, and I just love helping people get better. But it was a major shift for me when I had my own health issues kind of crop up, and I was seeking help from doctors. And in my profession, we've always, were under guidance of the physicians and using science and treating people with that model. But it really was an eye-opener for me when I started to have symptoms and I would go to the doctor, and I really wasn't getting any answers. It was just a prescription. It was just like, oh, we don't know what it is, but here's a prescription and, you'll be fine, carry on. But things kind of lingered, and I had a couple chronic issues. So that really opened my eyes to things where I was, I had to seek my own research and go a different route. So I kind of discovered functional medicine that way. I found a functional medicine doctor, and I found my own health coach. And it was a real game changer for me. And it was kind of like this secret society where I was like, wait a minute, nobody taught me this when I was in school, or I didn't know this. I'm treating patients for chronic symptoms, but it was so many things that I had to do as far as diet changes and lifestyle, looking at toxins, looking at your environment. Even things like, I know everyone says, oh, it's just stress, but stress is such a, what it actually stress is on your body and how your hormones are changing in response to that stress. So it's just the emphasis wasn't there in like the regular medical model. It just kind of brushed under the rug like it's not a big deal. So I really had to make a lot of lifestyle changes, and I saw big differences. So that's really how it all started. And then I just decided to go become my own health coach, because it was like, people need to know this. And I wanted to share the education and knowledge.
Yeah, and it does seem like a secret society sometimes when we go outside mainstream medicine. And it really is eye-opening to a lot of alternatives out there that are very, very effective. Can you talk a little bit about that and maybe some success stories you've had?
Yeah, it's just, I guess it's just interesting, because what really is so important in our bodies and our health is what we're putting in our bodies, what we're surrounding our bodies. And you think like a doctor would kind of bring that up when you go and you see them, if you have high blood pressure or just some of these illnesses, diabetes. And I just don't think that even with my physical therapy patients, like that was never addressed. The diet was really never addressed. Looking a little bit deeper of what kind of environment they're living in, if they're living in like a moldy home, or if they're around toxic things. Those things all matter. And just when the doctors never really they never ask about those things. It was just like, oh, it's genetics, or maybe they brush upon like, you need to start eating, a lower carb diet, less processed foods. Maybe it's a one blurb thing. And I don't think people really know what that means, what that entails. So I think it needs to be a longer conversation. I think it needs to be in more education. How are they going to incorporate that in their life? It's not going to be just a piece of paper or a one sentence change. It really has to be a learning curve.
Yeah, and a lot of people, their experience is they go in the doctor's office and they kind of collect some symptoms from you and very quickly come up with a diagnosis, and it may be a prescription, like you say, it just may be a passive, oh, you need to, eat more of this or something like that, if that at all, because most doctors aren't even trained in depth in nutrition. Not, and there's a wide variety of, I'm generalizing, but there's a wide variety out there. But is that what you've seen as well?
Yeah, I've definitely seen that. And I think in the case of where the doctors, where they actually, you go see a doctor and you actually do need a prescription. I'm not against prescription, but it can be this and that. It has to be, it's not just that and you're good to go. It has to be, okay, you need this prescription now, but you need to also change certain things to get you stopping going down that path, and then really start seeing changes where maybe you won't need those prescriptions down the road. Just kind of it's not just that's it, you're good, you're fine, but it's a whole body approach that needs to be made.
Right. And the doctor may be specializing in a certain area. And so that's where folks like yourself come in and kind of fill that void where you can look at everything that's going on and talk about diet and talk about stress. And you're right, a lot of people are very dismissive when it comes to things like stress. It's what you said, it's just stress. No, like you said, stress is a big deal.
Yeah, and that's interesting because that's when you say like there's doctors that specialize in one area. I mean, when I was having my symptoms, it was a couple random things. So I was finding myself, I had to go to the dermatologist for my skin. I had to go to the GI. I had high blood pressure. I had to go to a cardiologist. It was all related to one issue, but none of I had to see, I was bouncing around from specialist to specialist, and I realized it's one issue, it's one root cause. But none of the doctors that I saw, none of the specialists were able to link everything together. I had to piece it. And it's just a broken model because it was never getting to really what was happening in my body, because I had to kind of just treat one thing, treat another thing, but it was never treating the right thing.
Right. And look at us today where we are with, with the second year of the pandemic, right? And you don't hear, especially from government officials or folks, talk enough about, and really you haven't heard anything from government officials talk about some health tips, some holistic health tips, what to eat or what to do, get out and exercise, things like that. It's all focused mostly on getting vaccinated, whether you're for it or against it. It's beside the point. It's you're not hearing enough from that. And so again, people have to kind of seek out folks like yourself and other folks that can help them with that whole body approach.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think, right, whether you're for or against the vaccine, you need a strong immune system for it to work at all. So if you're just taking it and you think you're good to go, and then you're going out to McDonald's or you're laying around all day and you're worried about still getting it, you need to protect your body. It's really your body's reaction to the pathogen. So if you're not strengthening it, the vaccine's not going to work. You're still maybe going to get sicker than if the fear is going to make you sicker. So that's right. I mean, you have to take care of your immune system, and that's a whole body approach. And I think they're not emphasizing. That's really where we should emphasize, because that's everything. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where it's at. So
yeah, and I'd love to hear your opinion on this, because I feel like when government officials take that stance and fully focus on vaccine, it kind of reinforces this. Oh, if I get something, then there's going to be a pill that fixes that. Oh, if something's out there, then they're going to create a vaccine for it, so I don't have to worry about my health. Science is going to take care of it. And it kind of goes back to what you said. We really got to take care of ourselves, because we don't know what's around the corner, what the next pandemic may be, or the next pathogen in the air that we could catch and harm us.
exactly. Yeah. Even with the boosters now, they're boosting it because your immune system isn't strong enough. So it's, boost it. We can boost it with vitamin C and vitamin D and zinc and all these things that we are probably deficient with anyway. So
yeah, I was going to ask you, what are you recommending to your clients who want to boost their immune system?
yeah, I mean, I'm taking, for myself too, I'm taking the protocol. I'm taking extra vitamin C. I'm taking vitamin D daily, but for vitamin D to work, you need magnesium. I've always taken magnesium. I think most of my clients are magnesium deficient. It's my favorite supplement, magnesium. And just having some kind of stress takeaway, like just some kind of stress reliever to turn off the news, or mindset, like breathing, whatever will work. I meditate every morning, but I know that's not for everybody. So it's kind of what is going to work for that person, but something to kind of take a break, get in the parasympathetic mode, because if you're in fight or flight, always go on the go, it's really like your body is just like, all right, I need to fight. I don't have time to, rest and reset and work on my immune system. I'm fighting right now. So that's gonna, you really need to work on that. So those are type of things, obviously, and sleep too, getting a good night's sleep, getting in that kind of regimen. So
yeah, there's all that good stuff there. And it kind of goes back to what you talked about stress, because most people don't realize that stress mode is weakening, their immune system. And so it's good to find something that's going to relieve that. And, so I do something similar where I may take a morning jog to start my day, but then in the afternoon, after working all day, I like to just go and sit and relax and just give my brain a break. But again, you said it, you got to find something that works for you.
yeah. Yeah, it's not easy these days, especially this time of year with like back to school and kids and it's the fall is, a lot of change, but just kind of something to get into a routine. And it's you kind of have to force yourself to do it. I think we're so used to being overstimulated with everything that like it feels weird to actually like sit still and be quiet. And that's okay. It's just like you have to kind of get used to that quiet stillness.
Yeah. And once you find something and incorporate that into your routine, it becomes a habit. It becomes, your daily routine. And I think people will see the benefits almost immediately from doing that. Like you said, it may feel weird the first time, for the second time, but get that into routine, you're going to see benefits.
Yeah, for sure.
So is there anything that we haven't talked about today that you want to make sure our audience is aware of?
Right now I'm learning a lot of, getting certified in functional medicine. So this is really a passion of mine, really kind of piecing together what is causing some of your symptoms and how to really stay well in this world where there's just so much going on. And I think our default in our world is just to be unhealthy. So it does take a lot more energy and work to kind of be well and stay healthy in the world we're living in right now, just with the toxins and the processed foods and the on the go schedules. So I just really want to educate people and inspire people of really taking a look at everything and healthy isn't what I think we're being told. So I think that we all think that like eating a salad and exercising, like running hard, hit exercise is really like no gain, no pain, no gain
Mhm.
mentality is the way to go. But I think that there's a lot of things just from what I've learned in my functional medicine and my own experience that we're not being told. I think it's just a lot of myths going on. So I really want people to kind of take a step back and be open-minded to kind of another way and kind of unlearning some of the things that they've learned in when it comes to health and wellness.
Absolutely. All good advice. I love all your tips you shared here today in a short amount of time. And again, just having that open mind, because when we, like you said, take a step back and look at everything that's going on, we realize we're responsible for our own health, and we need to take responsibility and find what works, and how that's going to improve your life. So thank you so much for being here today. One last question: how can our audience connect with you or get in touch with you to find out more?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, C Good Wellness. That's the letter C, Good Wellness. I also have my website, cgoodwellness.com, and they could email me or reach out to me through that.
Awesome. Well, our guest today has been Cortney Goodstadt, who has a doctorate in physical therapy and is also a health and wellness coach. So thank you for being with us today, Courtney.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I hope our audience learned something today, and I hope you all join us next time when we discuss another topic related to your genetic health. So thanks again, and we'll see you soon.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.